Hello again. I don't know if you can see me, but that's not really the point. Here we are, the first day of 2022, and hopefully to new beginnings. I also want to celebrate our 100th subscriber. So, it's small victories. And a shout out to Lillian, who is our 100th subscriber, and she's also a contributor to one of the videos on the site. So, here to our new year. Today we are with a côte rôtie. So we really want to start the year with something special. This is a côte rôtie by Domaine Pichat, Stéphane Pichat, 2011. I don't know if you can see the label. It's kind of a striking label, a little bit sort of modernist, I would say, or almost brutalist. It's a Les Grandes Places 2011. Let's just say a word on the côte rôties. We've talked about this before. But Côte Rôtie is, as you know, is the north of the northern Rhone. So it's primarily all Syrah, with allowed to put a little bit of Viognier if you want in that. But I want to just talk about the terroir, because what people know about Côte Rôtie, often what they hear is Côte Blonde and Côte Brune, and of course they're very different. But more than that, the delineation between them really separates the terroir of Côte Rôtie between north and south. North to the north of Côte Brune, and south to the south of Côte Blonde. And what's kind of interesting is those two areas are separated by a small spring, a ruisseau, if you want to call it, called Renard, that goes through the town of Ampuis, north to south, and into the Rhone. And Renard, which is a very famous name for those of us who really are into Cornas as well, but that's for another discussion, separates the two halves of Côte Rôtie, a part going north from northeast, from Renard to all the way to the end of the area, and then a half going south. And this is all on the same side of the Rhone, north of the Rhone, and it's all these places you may have heard of, but if you're drinking Côte Rôtie, you've got Côte Blonde, you've got Viaillère, you've got Chavaroche, you've got Rosier, you've got Côte Brune, you've got Landonne, you've got Fongeant that Hani talked about, you've got Les Grandes Places. Les Grandes Places happens to be basically the northern tip of the northern part of the northern Rhone, so like it's all the way the last bit of Côte Rôtie, the furthest north, and it faces southeast. So you get, and it's very windy, it's very rocky, it's got flats and really sharp escarpments, and it gets a gentle sun from the east, and it's got southern exposure. So it's kind of the difference, just to go back a little bit, between the north, north, the Côte Brune and the Côte Blonde, is the soil. You go north from the Côte Brune, from the Renard up, it's all basically schists. So you've got really schist-based soil. And then you go Côte Blonde, and below it's granite and a little bit more sandy. With that, so you got finer, more expressive wines. The northern part is you got really much stronger, sometimes broody, long living wines. They're both incredible, but this is a different style. Now, Les Grandes Places, as I said, I first tasted a wine from Les Grandes Places by Cluzel Roch, whom we visited a couple of years ago, and I was just blown over by that particular wine. I mean, we tasted some of the other wines. They had the schist, which is a blend. They had the Viaillère, but this one just knocked me out. So I've been really keen to try something else from Les Grandes Places, and I found this producer. It was very small. They make 2,000 bottles of this, and we figured, why not? Let's some local store here, and I want to try it. 2011 should be ready, although it could probably last another 10 years. Let's see what we have. On the color, I don't know if you can tell, it's really very dark, that sort of dark cherry, northern Rhone Syrah. It's no bricking yet to speak of, just a little bit, and it's just it's unfined, unfiltered, so you're going to get the natural color and lack of clarity, if you want, of that kind of a wine. On the nose, it's just really what I love about the Côte Rôtie, both the mix of expressiveness and restraint. You've got the cherry, the plum, a little bit of that, no alcohol on the nose, no heat. You got a little bit of the sort of the darkness that comes maybe with, maybe a little bit of graphite, iron. The soils in the north are more also, they have more iron in them. And you get that even on the nose. It's pretty cold out, so I mean, it's kind of needs to be teased out, but let's just see what we get here. The fruit opens up a little bit. There's some floral accents, very muted though. Again, everything is muted. You really have to work at it. You just, not because it doesn't express itself, but because there's just, you have to go into the bubble. You're almost going into a round room and you're trying to figure out what is going on inside it. Excuse me. I read somewhere about liquid cherry, and that's sort of what you get on the mouth. It's really just very, very smooth. Very, the tannins are very fine. They're very strong, but they're very fine. Almost, I mean, not quite, but the next step would be almost syrupy, but that's not what you get. It's really, again, that notion of dark, tannic, dark fruit, plum, cherry, the iron that you also taste, maybe a little bit of leather. I think that's going to develop more with more age on this wine. I just opened it a couple of hours ago. This is really going to continue to do very well. I'm just really loving it. Something to make you work a little bit. And these wines are sometimes the most rewarding. Cheers and Happy New Year.